The appearance of wild boars in residential areas is becoming an obsession for many people. They rummage through trash to search for leftover human food in garbage collection areas in Texas cities. So what causes the increasing number of wild boars invading the city? One of the main reasons is said to be because people feed wild boars. The image of the girl in the photo feeding a large, 30-pound wild boar is an influence for this. Eating wild boars regularly causes them to form the habit of seeking food from humans, leading to wild boars becoming increasingly bold and penetrating deep into residential areas. If you are feeding wild boars leftover food, I advise you to stop immediately if you do not want them to attack you at any time. However, there is evidence of a significant increase in feral swine in urban areas of Texas. A study by Texas A&M University found that between 2011 and 2020, the number of wild boar calls to wildlife control agencies in urban areas increased fivefold, and damages amounted to $1.2 billion USD per year for the city area. Faced with an explosion in the number of invasive wild boars, causing damage to the city and threatening security, Texans have adopted an effective countermeasure of setting traps at night. Taking advantage of the foraging behavior of wild boars at night, people set traps in areas where pigs frequently visit, bringing higher results than traditional hunting, because at this time wild boars are often not alert. In a sense, setting such traps is a humane action that does not harm wild boars and ensures the welfare of wild animals. With the number of wild boar invasions increasing in the city area, the authorities have taken the following measures. Leg traps are an effective means that Texans use to control large numbers of invasive feral hogs in the area. This type of trap is designed to quickly and effectively trap a wild boar's leg, making it impossible for them to escape. When trapped, wild boars will be tied by the legs and unable to move, making it easier for people to collect and handle them. Each year, this type of trap successfully deals with millions of invasive wild boars, helping to minimize damage to the city and natural environment. To use leg traps, people need a permit from the Texas Department of Environmental and Wildlife Management. This is to ensure that the use of traps is carried out according to regulations and does not pose a danger to other wildlife. This type of trap is available for purchase and can often be found at specialized wildlife stores. Popular locations in Texas, such as Houston, Dallas, Austin, and San Antonio, often have stores that provide this type of trap to serve the needs of residents. Texans will perform trap installation during the day to make it easier to set traps. If you use this type of trap to hunt wild boar, you will not need to prepare as much bait as a large mesh trap. You just need to use scented bait placed near the trap to attract wild boars. This type of leg trap has a long fixed wire attached so that when wild boars get caught in the trap, they will not be able to move. Do you know why invasive wild boars have been effectively controlled in recent years? Because this type of trap is placed under a layer of dry leaves, wild boars cannot detect it. When they go looking for food at night, they easily fall into traps. Using feral pig leg traps in Texas requires a permit. Permits may be issued by the Texas Department of Natural Resources, TPWD. According to a study by Texas A&M University, using leg traps has helped reduce the number of feral pigs by 30% to 50%. Unlike setting leg traps, using iron cage traps in the shape of a rectangular box will catch more wild boars. Every time people set a trap, they will put a lot of corn seeds inside the trap. You will wonder why hunters don't use other types of bait, because wild boars love to eat corn. Some studies show that damage caused by feral pigs per acre of corn can be up to $500. That's the Texans' experience in baiting. You can learn from this. Each time the trap will catch 2 to 3 fish, the trap mechanism is placed below that number of baits. When the wild boar steps on that pile of bait, the trap door mechanism will automatically collapse. The final measure is to use net traps combined with hunting tools to easily collect wild boars once trapped. Placing net traps is similar to placing iron cage traps. People will choose a location far away from residential areas so as not to affect the lives of people in Texas. This type of lower trap will be placed in a circle. The mesh cells are woven together into small cells. When they are caught in the net, there will be no way to escape because the bottom of the trap is folded into a fold at the bottom. After about 24 hours, the hunter will check the trap once to detect that the wild boar has been trapped. They will handle them with hunting tools to collect wild boars to avoid their aggressive attacks. How do you like this last method? Is it more effective than the above 2 methods? If so, please comment number 1 below. In Texas, after hunting invasive feral hogs, hunters will bring their trophies to government-designated areas. Here, they will receive a reward of a wild boar for processing. This is the Texas government's way of thanking those who have contributed to protecting the environment and the community from the dangers caused by invasive feral pigs. Why do people like dishes made from wild boar meat? Invasive wild boar meat has a different flavor than conventionally raised pigs. The color of invasive wild boar meat is darker, with many fat veins interspersed between the meat fibers. Because they regularly exercise and forage in the natural environment. Processing invasive wild boar is not too complicated and can be done by one person. After bringing the pig home, the hunter will remove the body hair and all internal organs of the wild boar. Because their internal organs pose a high risk to food hygiene and safety, their removal is necessary. Next, the hunter will filter out all the lean meat to process into dishes. Have you ever enjoyed a dish made from wild boar meat? Do you think the new method of setting traps by the Texans is effective? If you agree with this method of setting traps, please press the like button. If you disagree, comment number 0. Thank you for accompanying me until the end of the video. Click the channel subscription button to watch the latest videos.
These approaches have been great at stopping the spread of some invasive species. Got any ideas for even better solutions? Drop your thoughts in the comments so we can all dive into it together. Thanks for sticking around and watching the whole video. If you liked it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And hey, be sure to tell your friends about us too so they can check it out. Bye and see you in the next video.